Yes, everybody. Oh, Will, you need to come press the menu, mate, quick. Thank you guys for joining us. United have been beaten. No, they haven't. We've drawn. See,
feels like we got beat.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to United Review. Joined by my dad today. Joe's gone to a concert. Sounds like a good plan. Got to watch the specials if anyone's interested in stalking him. We've drawn 1-1. Might as well got beat because top four's finished now, isn't it?
Yeah, gone.
Totally gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even a sure thing with a win, really.
No, but a winner to put us on the same points, just behind on goal difference. Yeah, still being fifth, but they've got 2 iffy games.
Look how many people have dropped points, man. From
everybody.
Arsenal, Spurs, everyone's just losing. No one really wants it in the slightest. And what are we doing?
Just sticking about with it.
Tossing it off as well. Swear to God. Oh, look at that. 65 points.
A joke.
Do you know what's frustrating is that we started fantastic. Some real great triangles, one-touch play. Thought that midfield has really give us a base. Bay as well.
Yeah.
Give us a base to play from, and we look mint.
And one slip up.
Yeah, and then the confidence just drained out of us when that ball went in the back of the net.
Probably.
Was it offside as well? Let us know in the comments because I believe it was.
You know, we started well. We started with the press. We were pressing them up the pitch, and they was giving us the ball back. And off we went on, you know.
We didn't press second half.
We didn't come out second half. We never pushed. You know, it was like that a line again. You know, we let them walk the ball out. We let Louise, the fullbacks, Rudiger, bring it out to, 10 yard or whatever inside their half, and then pump long balls here, there, and everywhere. But in the first half, we had pressure on them on their 18-yard box. Forcing the mistake, forcing them to give it us back. And like I say, Herrera.
It wasn't offside, people are saying.
Herrera, Mata, was up and down the pitch. Herrera's what we've been missing.
Herrera was fantastic today.
That dog in the midfield that'll just chase and hound, till in the end. Hazard, where was he today? He stuck out on the left wing. Very rarely came in.
Hazard
never come in.
Did jack shit.
Exactly. Pogba was up with was playing first half.
Is it something in the intensity of this that we're seeing all these teams want to press, but do we run out of steam or do teams figure us out?
I don't know, because we're right as rain till half time. First half on Wednesday night against City was good. Second half was dog shit. Today,
pretty accurate.
Today, we was brilliant in the first half. All right, De Gea again, another slip up. But like you said, the confidence was just like the air out of a balloon.
Oh, totally, just totally drains from us. And you think,
but you think getting at half time, because they was on the up after they scored. Getting at half time, regroup, sort your heads out, come out, go at it again. No. We come out flat. We just didn't go at all. We didn't press, we didn't push. All right, we had a chance, I believe that was Eddie, I think it was Eddie off the line, Rowo's header, that got Eddie off the line late on.
Yeah.
But can you remember another chance in that second half? Because I can't.
No, I think a lot of the shots that we had were quite simple saves for the keeper. I think we had 5 on target from 7, I think.
I don't know. It's frustrating. It's fucking annoying that we've had chances in this last month.
I thought the football was brilliant. I thought we defensively looked solid. I thought going forward we looked good. We looked confident with the ball in midfield, and then we give away a free kick. We concede a goal, and we fucking crumbled. A lot of people in the comments here are talking about Solskjaer's substitutions, and I can kind of agree that they. No, I do agree. It's not kind of agree. I do agree that we didn't make good substitutions. We didn't bring goals on. Marcus was a threat with his pace, in behind all day long.
Yeah, but wasn't he injured?
He's done his shoulder in, yeah. Supposedly from from Company's assault on him on Wednesday night. So that's an issue with him. Tactics aren't complex enough. It's easy to figure out, says S100. But City's tactics aren't complex. Liverpool's tactics are not complex. No. They're just very good at them.
And City gave us a lesson in them the other night.
There's no fluidity in our attack, says Mancunian Red. But it wasn't the first half. Loads of it. Yeah. Loads of it. Yeah. Even Lukaku looked mint. Yeah. He looked confident. That's the difference. He looked confident.
And all the one-touch stuff in the first half. The one-touch, Herrera, Mata, Pogba, out to Lukaku, Brash. They was all working together. They was all close enough to play the little triangles, move up the pitch. Shaw out left.
Tell you with a good comment there. We are lacking real creativity. Maybe a guy like Maddison from Leicester would be a good shout. I like this formation. I do like this formation. I think the four.
Four in the middle.
Yeah, the four in the middle, the diamond, the two up front. I think that looks good. I think that works.
But you need the players who can play it for 90 minutes.
You do, and I think Mata putting his foot on the ball is good like that. And he's a true footballer in terms of, like, he's got good vision, he's got an excellent touch, but his pace lets him down just a little bit. Yeah. I thought McTominay did all right when he came on. I thought he's shown a lot of fight and even a lot of quality as well, which I was.
But your main fight, if you like, was Herrera.
Maybe another striker. Maybe this is the game. But if you had fucking Greenwood on the bench, does he come on instead of Sanchez and actually make something happen? Because again, Sanchez ran around a lot, didn't do anything. No. Didn't involve himself in any link-up play. Didn't press from the front. Just didn't do anything. People accuse Jesse Lingard of doing that, but Jesse Lingard usually leads tackles and interceptions when he's doing that. He's actually doing stuff.
All he was doing was running at people. But he wasn't running at them to make a tackle. Excuse me. He was running at them, and all he was doing was passing it sideways. Now, that was his, as far as he was concerned, that was his job done. He went to somebody else. And then he walked. And didn't get involved again. He didn't chase either way. He went to one. If Louise had it, he went to Louise. If he passed it again, out to the wing or whatever, he didn't go. He was looking for someone else. But we sat that far back in that second half. There was 10, 20 yards.
Andy later says, United are worse than where they are under Jose right now. I mean, we're really not. We really are not. I mean, we've had some injuries. There's been some form issues. But we was 11 points off top four when Ollie took over. We're now a couple of points outside it, and people are disappointed that we're not making it. When Ollie took over, I remember having conversations with you guys in the comments, people on Twitter going, we're never making top four from here. Well, do you know what? The last 3 games where we failed to win, if we'd have picked up 3 wins, not only would be pretty on for it, we'd probably be bang in, yeah.
You'd probably be banging for third.
12 games and sit third. Yeah. And that's the guy Arthur you lot want as manager? With that team? Come on, man. That team shits all over our team. A lot. Lukaku's a different kettle of fish to what he was. And I don't think... we need 5 signings before we sell anyone.
Today was probably his best game in a long time. He looked more mobile in that first half today than he's done for a hell of a long time.
He did. I wonder what it'd be like with the pre-season. Because I think that's helped him out. You are far worse off now with Ollie, says A. Dutch. How?
No, not a chance.
Please explain your working for that one. How? I really don't get what you're saying there. No one can one-touch pass. We hold the ball way too long and movement is awful around. Yeah, second half, absolutely, but we didn't do that in the first half. In the first half, we had it. We absolutely had it. Argenti says, formation is good, but we need fullbacks who can cross and beat a man, and a deep line playmaker pass through the lines. Yeah, I think you can upgrade Matic, you can upgrade Young, you can upgrade at least one of the centre-halves.
But you had an upgrade on a centre-half today, and unfortunately he got injured.
That's his issue. He's reckless.
Yeah, but he will put his body. To be honest, he will put his body on the line for you, for that shirt. which is what we was crying out for on Wednesday night. Someone to have again.
Not only did you not win them 3, you was battered in all 3. Are you fucking sniffing glue, my mate? We was battered by Everton. We was not battered by City, and we certainly was not battered by Chelsea today. Mate, take your head out, you fucking ass. Jesus Christ. Lukaku can't breathe after 30 minutes. There was a big run Lukaku did, wasn't it? And after that, honestly, he did need like a cuddle and a fucking Horlicks afterwards.
Yeah, he did need oxygen.
I feel for you. I'm in the same position. Just 4 or 5 signings will be pushing for the title. I think, you know, what's one of those? Jose didn't get us 6th. Jose's the reason we was down there. We was 11 points off top 4 with Jose. Does none of this like add up to you? Like, Jose wasn't getting top 4 anyway. So how are we worse off with someone who nearly got top 4? Someone shouting Angel Gomez. Angel Gomez has got the vision to be able to do it. I just think he lacks the physicality. But he could probably go into the Manchester City team right now and look phenomenal because of how good the way they play and everything around him.
I think we was calling for him on Wednesday night, weren't we? You know, Mason, not Gomez, but Young Chong, Mason Greenwood.
I think Angel's got
even Jimmy Garner. Even Jimmy Garner.
Jimmy Garner might be an upgrade on Matic at the moment.
But you know, in this team at the moment, they could get ruined. To be honest with you, if you put them in, because they'd get slated. Not in the first half. You know, if we could play every game like we did in the first half.
For the most part. Some of the stuff that our fan base writes to our own players is ridiculous. And I know that might sound hypocritical because why go on Ashley Young? But Ashley Young is the weakest link in our team. That's the reason why I'm sick of saying it for 5 years. You
know, if you put like Mason or Young Chongi into that side, you know, Wednesday night or again today, first half, yeah, they'd look brilliant. But the performance of the second half in both games would drag them down. They'd be classed as the same as what's already there. So it wouldn't do them any favours playing them at the moment in that team. Because that team can't see a game out. You know, there was nothing wrong at all with the 2 first half performances.
Against City and Chelsea.
City and Chelsea.
Who's the only team winning them games?
You know, the 2 second halves were like, who's this team that's come out now? Because it wasn't the same team. But, you know, like you said before, we've either got a confidence problem or a mentality problem that once we lose a goal...
But like a leadership problem as well.
Well, possibly. But once we lose a goal, it's like, oh, it's happening again. We've not got like that leader that goes like, come on, fucking suck it up, we go again. You don't see that. You don't see that at all off any of them.
You see it with Herrera.
Herrera does. Herrera was screaming at Young to hurry up, taking throw-ins and stuff.
Fucked it so bad if we allow him to leave. Oh my God.
Like you said before, he said, you know, you said he shouldn't even be allowed to get changed. Drag him in his kit, sit him down in that boardroom and go, what do you want?
Well, the first half, I'd have done it like Brian Robson on the pitch. Sign a new deal, get him done.
You know,
and put a perm on him.
He's the only one today that was stamping his feet, if you like. He was putting the tackles in. He was harrying, challenging, getting people going, dragging people with him. Let's close these down. You come with me. And he was doing a leader's job. But, just, you know, he can't do it all the time.
I think we've got a question on Twitter. Let's have a look what's going on over there. Some Mujahid says, if Marshall can't come off the bench to change the game, what I hope is that Greenwood, Chong could play some minutes. We need a goal now. He's bringing on a defensive midfielder. Greenwood would have done more than Alexis did. Rom's crossing the ball to Mata and Alexis. Mate, I absolutely, totally agree with that. Yeah, there was a time, so I think I said to you, didn't I? Like, look at this here, £75 million striker, and he's crossing it to midgets in the middle.
Yeah.
That's not acceptable. On the Marshall front, I think Marshall might be the guy that Ollie's aimed some of these comments at recently in terms of work rate and stuff, because he is a lethargic player. And we were just sort of saying just off air a second ago, weren't we, like, maybe he is a better player than Marcus, maybe he is a better player than Mason, maybe he is a better player than Lingard, the same way Berbatov was probably a better player than Tevez. But when the team's down, people want fight. People don't want that prima donna. People want someone that's going to lift somebody, that's going to charge around and going to try and make things happen.
Like you said, like Berbatov.
Yeah, I mean, Berbatov was a better player than Tevez, but the way
Whatever's worked.
Yeah, like people resonated with that a little bit, and sometimes I think that maybe that's incorrect perception from us as fans, but that is a perception that I think we get with everyone. Right, let's hit up everybody in Patreon. A couple of Patreon came and said hello today as well, so thank you guys for coming and saying hello, and any of you that are at the game, make sure you come and say hello. And shout me up beforehand as well, so I'm not fucking like shocked like I always am. Clemens, from now on, youth only. We said this in the car, didn't we? No, because the way everyone else is completely shit, there's still a torchlight that you could see United in top 4, or you could make a mathematical case for top 4, which means that the board will be like, you've got to do top 4. Because you should really go, right, like, debut fucking tastic. Who are you? Come here, get a shirt on. I'm fucking cleaner, mate. Like, get a shirt on.
Yeah, you're playing.
Why do our players slip around Old Trafford so much? There was a lot of that, wasn't there? There was a lot of that.
There's too much water on it.
I hate the idea of blaming De Gea or Ole, but after so many shocking performances of late, could we have seen this coming and avoided it? Ole's a weird... De Gea's a weird one, isn't he? Because he's earned the right to be shit for probably a good few months with the performances he's had in the last few years.
Yeah, but it's that unexpected. That's why it's shocking. You know, like today, you don't... By rights, he should be catching that. You know, we don't know. We was at the other end of the ground. Whether that moved in the air or whatever, that I can't catch it, I'm going to parry it. But he literally parried it 6-7 yards.
Where's the onus on the defenders as well there? If an attacker's getting in there to pounce on something, why aren't the attackers getting in there to also clear that at the same time?
Defenders.
Yeah. So yeah, if an attacker's getting on it, why aren't the defenders getting in there to block him getting on it, or fucking hit him, or kick him, or pull his shirt, or something like that?
Yeah, but they're also got a lot of faith in him behind you, because it's what they've had. You know, for the last couple of years, you know, it's all right, Dave will sort it out. Well, at the moment, Dave's not sorting it out.
Question on Twitter here from Mitch. What's happening, brother? He says, would I be happy for no titles for 3 or 4 years if the club put together a strategy of building the youth and bringing in some top talents to let Oldie build a team? I would all day. I'd love that sort of shit. Yeah. But I'm going to be honest with you, half of our fan base couldn't fucking wait an hour for that sort of shit to happen. They expect results yesterday and are going to fucking... hammer everyone who doesn't.
Can you imagine what it'd be like going back a good few years, 80 odd, 85, up to 90 odd?
No, we've got this conversation. Ron Atkinson comes third, fourth, brings in a load of cups, goes 10 games unbeaten at the start of the season, or straight wins, loses his head and decides he can't do it no more. You bring in Fergie, who's a 1-0 merchant, fucking boring, falling out with all the players, selling fan favourites. Yep. He comes 11th, I think, in his first season, then like 3rd, then 11th and 13th. I guarantee nowadays you're gone after that second 11th, because you've took us backwards, especially after the 13th, took us backwards. And then I think he finished like 6th and then back to fucking like 13th or some shit like that before he started getting top 6 finishes, wins a trophy, wins a league. There's not a fucking prayer you go 7 years now at a club like doing that, going up and down like that.
Not this club.
Not any club. Name me a club that does that. Like Sean Dyche is like the fucking longest serving Premier League manager. Yeah,
well, you'll get, you know, your clubs that are happy. I mean, look at Moyes at Everton. He did a few years. Fucking, what was it, first 2 or 3 years, survived in the division on the last day of the season.
Get some Champions League.
Eventually.
People moan about him.
You know, but as long as you're there and in it, a lot of clubs, you know, no disrespect to Everton, but the size of Everton and people like that, they'll be happy with that.
Well,
you can't do it at this club.
Now. They've gone through the ringer lately with managers only lasting a year and stuff like that and not being able to settle. You can't only do this job in a year.
No.
Sometimes it's obvious, like it was with Moyes, that you ain't the right man.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's less obvious, like with Van Gaal. It's very boring, but he did all right in the grand scheme. He was only all right, and we wanted more than all right, but he did all right. You know,
what would football?
What would his 3rd season have looked like? We don't know, because he was a 3-year... That's what he's seen his arse with. He's like, I had a 3-year plan. I was told I was all right to get a 3-year plan, but... And yeah, you're right, there was times when it was fucking turgid.
It was horrible. But it was... You know, we had that with Van Gaal, and then we had Mourinho. And it was no different. The football was still shite.
It was shit football, but it was different. It was shit in a different way. Whereas, and this is the problem, is because you've recruited for Van Gaal, and I don't know what Moyes recruited for, but you've recruited for Van Gaal to a certain extent, and you've got your ball passing players like the likes of Daley Blind and people like that who you've brought into this team, Memphis and stuff like that, and then Mourinho gets here and he's like, because Fellaini wasn't used under Van Gaal. He gets in and he's like, we're going that route. I'll bring Zlatan in, we're going units, land of the giants, get Matic in, get Fellaini in.
Well, that's all he did. Yeah. He put together, but like you say, a massive side.
Dealing with a fucking patchwork quilt of a team.
Yeah.
Built in no man's image. So he's got to now be
thrown together.
Yeah, you've now got to give him the opportunity to try and fucking get rid of some of these players, which is ninja, because some of them hang on like shit. Like they stick around like a bad fart. I don't know how they've managed to survive, half of them. But he's got to clear that out, and it's gonna take time.
And
but the flashes
you're going
have
to
been there
struggle
for me that he can do it.
You're going to struggle getting rid of half a dozen of them players.
Who's going to pay the wages for half of these clowns?
No, and if you make any money, if you get any money for them,
we've got loads of these to get through, so let's get through these. Mason Greenwood says, Luke, please, says I. Kyle, can we just use the Infinity Gauntlet to forget about this season? Is that some superhero shit? Like, I'm 35 as fuck, mate. I have no idea what you're talking about. Will, is top 4 done? Yep. But yes, there is also probably a mathematical chance looking at how shit everyone else is, but I wouldn't.
Don't hold your breath.
I'm planning to fucking rename the Thursday Club, put it that way. How do we go from playing that good pressure in at the start to how we performed after the goal? I can only put it down with confidence. Rashford off injured, screams for Greenwood in the next 2 games. Who else should be thrown in? Yeah, no, it is him. It's him. It's basically him. I mean, you can make a case for Nishan if he was going to play a certain way. Fastest player in the club, but, like, probably not going to happen. Blake says, why didn't we push on after the goal? I don't think we switched tactics. I don't think so, at least, anyway. I just think we... I don't know. Hard to say. They stepped up, actually, straight after the goal. Noticeably.
They had a good 5-10 minutes after the goal, but we seem to, again, be knocking on the door. I mean, we had was it a Bailey header that went past the post from a corner, and did a few scrambles in the box.
Wasn't there?
Yeah.
Brian was getting annoyed watching Lukaku caught offside so many times toward the end for strolling back, making no effort. Listen, as a fat guy, it's hard mooching around that much. Like, leave off him, let him get through pre-season. Josh says, thoughts on match tonight? I thought he showed what we'd missed, but I think you can upgrade him.
Yeah, you can now.
I think you can upgrade the guy. Before we get too deep in this, we are sponsored by the absolute legends at BetBull, and you can come and find out all about those. The link is in the description. Before we get deeper into these questions here, have we got my bets, Will? We have got my bets, I think, for today. Let's have a gander. You what? We do? Nope, that was Everton. Definitely didn't do that one. All right, never mind. I went for United 2-1 and Pogba any time. So if we'd have got a Pogba winner, it'd have been Milky Bars on me. I didn't get that, but never mind. You can still come and follow me on there if you search for Mr. Stephen Howson. Go to leaderboard, press the little search symbol, type in my name, Mr. Stephen Howson. Link is in the description. Get up to 100 free social bets, and also just for following me on there as well. Listen, it's a free app. Help me out. I'm trying to get loads of people to follow me on there, and then hopefully they continue next season supporting the channel. It means we can do all sorts of stuff, like potentially go on a pre-season tour. Come and follow me on there, and just for following me on there, you could get yourself a signed Marcus Rashford shirt. There's one for the Patreons and one for everybody else as well. So there's 2 shirts to be given away. If you fancy one of those, just come and follow me on the app, and at some point, maybe in the next week, I'll be picking the winner. Righty, back to the questions. Will says, thought we played well. If it wasn't for circumstances around this game, would we be just saying it was one of those games? Probably, but it was a cup final in the grand scheme of things, and about the 70th minute mark, 80th minute mark, you're looking at the players and going,
do something.
They want a 1-1. We don't look arsed. Like, where was the
urgency?
Yeah, there was no urgency.
There was nothing. It was no good to them for them to push, because they could have got caught. At 1-1, they're still 3 points.
Yeah, they're chilling.
They're still 3 points ahead of us with 2 games to go.
2 rolls of the dice being in Europa and all. Yeah. Whose fault is the mismanagement of Rashi? Is it down to him playing at any cost, being unlucky, or Ollie?
I think we've had to play.
He's played through injury since the Liverpool game, to be honest. And when he got back from injury, he got ill. Obviously, he maybe he got more clattered than we thought against Company. That's why we didn't see him going in for more and more after him. I thought he looked bright today. I thought he should have pulled the trigger a little bit. He ended up doing a couple of turnarounds on the ball, and I was just thinking earlier a little bit with him. Earlier, just but that could be a confidence thing. That could be an ankle thing. You don't know, do you?
No.
Another game where we started off strong and faded away. Do I think this is fitness and a good pre-season they can maintain it? If you remember, a lot of managers that have come in really struggled in the first part of that with those, these high-intensity systems, and there's always been a fade away. I'm hoping that there's an element of that, and we had a terrible pre-season anyway, didn't we? Because most of the team was at the World Cup. Is the second half performance that physical or mental? Yeah, we've covered that one. Views on Bolton's situations. Really sad. No, it's not sad. Fuck Bolton. To death, honestly, fuck him. Tino says, finally we managed to score a goal from open play. I was concerned I am about our lack of real chances. We had more chances today than or it felt like we had more chances today. I actually need to have a look, but I am concerned about it. I am definitely concerned about it. Why are all these substitutions so bad? Can't answer that.
You can only play what's there. You can only play what we've got.
Chelsea to lose and draw to Watford and Leicester. Arsenal always fuck it up. Youth to Champions League. Stranger things have happened. Can you imagine that we do toss it off, play Greenwood, scores that full of goals in the next 2 weeks, and we somehow fucking... Put the league table up, William. Let's have a look how we're doing this one.
No chance. Not for me.
Here we go.
They blew it.
It's only 3 points. Don't do this to me, man. Fucking hell.
It's 3 points. But it could be goal difference.
See,
it should be goal difference now.
They won't play the youth because of that.
Because of that, we're too close.
Yeah. Fuck's sake.
You take the chance today. They was there for the taking today.
He was.
Fucking that David Luiz has got to be the worst fucking defender. He's just fucking big, stupid. I mean, we slagged Smalling, Jones off, and they've got Luiz. He's got a mistake in him every single game.
Got a little bit of quality. Yeah. Dan says, give Dave an early holiday and play Romero. I don't know how that reacts. That could go like a bouncy ball, couldn't it? Anyway,
yeah.
I don't know how that reacts. I understand where you're coming from. I don't know how that goes down. Are we ever going to see a 90-minute performance again?
Don't hold your breath.
Uncreative Pride says, what's with the shite second half performances? Yeah, there's a lot of people noticing those. McTominay brought on to release Pogba, and while McTominay played well, I thought it was a real insight into what Ollie thinks of Marshall. Yeah, I think you're right. We didn't bring goals on, but I also think that you need urgency. I'm not sure that Marshall's the urgency that you get off the bench.
If he wanted that, then he put the right one on, didn't he, with Sanchez? But I still think we've signed his brother. That isn't the kid that used to play at Arsenal.
Ant says, do you still consider us to be the third best team in the country? The thing is, our squad was never the third best in the country. Tottenham's has always been a better squad than us, but a combination of the shit mentality that they've got, what I perceive as a weakness in the manager, and what we're able to cobble together, I think we can get it done. But at the moment,
it's not happening.
I could argue Wolves, but you could very easily argue Wolves are better than us. You could easily argue Arsenal are better than us. You could easily argue Chelsea are better than us. We might be top 6. I mean, I don't know if that's a form thing playing into my mind or not. I mean, we never had the third best squad, but as a package, we ended up being a little bit better.
If you want to, to answer the question, if you strip that squad, if you like, down into individuals, there's World Cup winners in there, there's all sorts in there. So, strip the squad down, possibly you've got the third best squad. As a whole, and how it performs.
Lack of balance that we've got means that no, and that's why I can make a case for Everton to be better, because they've got more balance to their team, more of a team. It's a team sport at the end of the day. Sean, really encouraged by, and Ryan saying, did Sanchez touch the ball? I don't remember him touching the ball if he did. He might have been involved in a bit of a 1-2 on the left wing maybe, but by that, I don't think so. Sean, really encouraged by Rom's performance. If he can get fit over the summer, would I keep him for next season? I would. I think there's too much smoke in this Icardi thing, me, and I don't really dig it. I don't really dig that as a swap. I think his movement, I don't think it is better. People telling me his finishing is 1,000% better, but it's actually not. Like, statistically, it's not. Lukaku finishes a higher percentage, 22%, versus Icardi at 16%. It's quite a big difference. Lewis, even though Dave has been so good for us, does he deserve the criticism he'll get? Yes and no, because and this is where you've got to look at Ollie a little bit as well. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you take him out and the one you put in doesn't do as well, you shouldn't have took him out. Yeah. If you take him out and the guy does well, then yeah, you was justified in taking him out. If you take him out, the guy does well, but he fucks off, was that the best move? Like, it's a minefield. There's so many things that could be proven right, so many things that could be proven wrong.
I think there's a lot, with the whole team, squad, or whatever. I think there's too much at the moment going on in the background. He's not signed his contract. Is that still playing on people's minds?
Is it playing on his mind?
His mind. We don't know the script with Pogba. He's still doing a lot of shouting and behind the scenes and everything else. Herrera. There's another. There's papers there waiting to be signed. If you want to stay, sign them.
Yeah. I thought Paul Pogba played a very intelligent and mature game today.
First half,
I thought he was holding his shape. I thought he was involved in a link-up play. I thought he was offering good options. I thought it was a really mature performance from Pogba. Which is bad that you actually even have to say that.
It was a better performance than Wednesday night, because even though the first half on Wednesday night was decent, he still had to do the daft step over. Instead of letting the ball go or going past a man, he wants to do a step over and they just nick it away from him. In the first half today, he was the link. He got it, give it.
Yeah, that's what he wanted. I thought that
and took off.
Is our best midfield option. Now, if Herrera's going, you've got to find someone that can do what he can do. And it's not irreplaceable, but those specific characteristics aren't in abundance around the world. You can find players who can do what Matic can do, but you've got to go and get these people. Yeah. You can't just go, well, Fred and McTominay, they won't.
No.
I was arguing with people on Twitter this morning, and they were saying, yes, United have invested a lot since Sir Alex left, but they had to. And arguably they didn't invest enough from, say, when Ronaldo went, or possibly even before. We won't know because we got to Champions League finals, we was winning titles, so everyone thinks it's all rosy. But if you look at what Manchester City are trying to do at the moment, they spent 50 million on Walker a couple of years ago, and now they're looking at probably spending similar on Wan-Bissaka to replace him. They're replacing him when he's dropped from an 8 to a 7. Yeah. They're not waiting until he goes, I'm going to retire now. Yeah. And that's what we allowed that team to do in 2009. The team that got to the Champions League final was a fucking embarrassment of riches compared to that team in 2011 that got to a Champions League final. You might go, oh, still got to a Champions League final. It did, but it had no chance of winning that game, whereas I was very confident we was going to beat them in 2009. I was wrong, but like I felt like we were going to do this. In 2011 I didn't. I thought we were going to get spanked. And arguably we did not invest in 2009, and then by the time 2013 comes around, that team limps over the line with Michael Carrick.
Well, it didn't limp, did it? It won the league by 12 points.
But it limped over the line still.
Yeah, it got over the line, but when you look at it, they won the league by 12 points.
But you're talking Paddy Evra within 12 months of being finished. You're talking Rio and Vidic 12 months of being finished.
Moyes walks in there to a side that's just won the league,
but 7 players on the verge of retiring.
Yeah, and halfway through that season, you're closer to the bottom than you are to the top.
Yeah.
6 months before,
champions,
you had the trophy in the air.
1, Fergie's a fucking genius, no question about that. 2, the way he knew how. Like, if you want to look at the actual number of games the likes of Rio and Vidic played, but if Chris Smalling played, it was alongside Rio or it was alongside Vidic. So, like we were saying before about, like, you can bring in, like, if you put Marshall into that City team or Rashford into that City team, they're gonna score you a fucking bucket load of goals
because they'll get the chances.
Someone said to me the other day, Fergie won a title with Cleverley in the starting team. He did, but he also had Scholes to the left of him and Rooney ahead of him, and Rio Ferdinand behind him. You can get away with that. Yeah. But when everybody is your Chris Smallings and your Cleverleys and your Phil Jones and your Ashley Youngs, then you're just a shit team.
Yeah, there's too many passengers.
Yeah, you're just a shit team. And the fact that we allowed 7 players to be in within a year or so of retiring, by the time we got to 2013, we should have had in, like, let's just throw some random fucking names, and I've no idea even if this matches up in terms of ages or anything, but like when Ronaldo went, we should have gone for Ribery, yeah? When the writing was on the wall...
Didn't they go for Robert at that time?
Probably not, who the fuck knows? When Schneider should have been in at some fucking point, I'm sure, and Gaetan. When, I'm not sure how old he is, Mats Hummels was on the cards in like 2012, 2013. When Michael Owen scored the winner, that game, Rio Ferdinand got done for pace a couple of times in that game.
Bellamy.
The writing was on the wall there. That's when we should have been looking at replacing the guy, not when we win a title and it goes another season. That's not when we should have been replacing. They should have already had their replacements in. And you might say, yeah, do you know what, Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, we thought they was. All right, Fergie was wrong about Phil Jones. He thought he was the new Duncan Edwards. I don't think Duncan Edwards ever ate crayons, so I think he was probably fucking wrong on that front. Chris Smalling was never Rio or Vidic. Even if we thought Phil Jones was, and I say we, meaning Fergie, even if they thought Phil Jones could be that guy, which didn't happen, transfers are 50-50, Chris Smalling was never touted as that. You know, look at what we did from 2001, 2002, 2003. We went and signed Ruud van Nistelrooy, who was the hottest striker in the world at the time. Nice age, 23, 24, coming into his prime. We signed Rio Ferdinand. He'd been at a couple of decent clubs. He'd had a big money move. The time was right to come to United. He was thought of as world-class potential. So was Ruud. We signed Rooney, 18-year-old, hottest... that's like signing Mbappe now, yeah? Hottest prospect in the world. Then we signed Ronaldo. These are the hottest prospects in the world. Not like... even when we signed Marshall, people was like, who the fucking hell's that at first? Oh, he's a bit of a hot prospect. No. Wayne Rooney, when we signed him, was, oh my fucking God, right? When we signed Rio Ferdinand, people was like, oh my fucking God, that's a hell of a signing. We haven't signed anyone like that.
No. Not for a long time.
What the equivalent now would be if we signed De Ligt, yeah? You'd go, oh my fucking God. Or if you did sign Mbappe right now, or if you signed, shit, I can't even think of anybody off the top of my head that would fit that bill. But that was the players that we would bring in. And they was been players for years and years and years. Wan-Bissaka might actually be that at right back for me. I think he's fucking brilliant.
And all his stats week in, week out prove it. Yeah. In the Premier League.
Mint. He's absolutely double mint. But I don't think, like I say, I think we've got 5 signings to make United even close to being in title contention, and that might not be enough. But if we lose De Gea, Pogba, Herrera, and a lot of people are saying get rid of him, but if we lost Lukaku as well, where's the spine of our team?
It's gone.
We haven't fucking got one.
We haven't got one, no. We haven't got one. Shit day at the office, mate.
Dog shit. Alright, everyone. Give us a like if you're depressed. Give us a like if you're depressed and you don't get enough sleep. You don't really know what you're doing with your life. I fucking hate Europa League. Yeah. I proper hate Europa League.
Thursday nights and Sunday afternoons are not made for football. Pizza clubs, and Sunday dinners. That's all Thursdays and Sundays are good for.
This Thursday, Ben will be eating a banana pizza because he lost. I mean, all right, we didn't exactly set the world alight here, did we? Between us, we had 16 bets. One of them came in just on the Thursday Club Acca and Bet of the Week. That was mine. We had one bet come in, which means Ben gets to eat banana pizza, which is nasty as hell. Luckily, I've avoided a pineapple pizza, but that's what Ben gets to go with. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you guys for joining us. I have got United's 1968 European Cup winning goalkeeper Alex Stepney joining me tomorrow. We will be talking about David De Gea. I'm sure he's got some pretty good insight. Do you know what? I fucking love Alex as well, so come and check that out. That'll be a top podcast. And there's all sorts of other shit coming out. And I guess I'm going to have to think of a new name for the Thursday Club. For fuck's sake. See you in the next one. Laters.